Well, sir, that incident was a bust.
Indeed. At least the three of you are okay.
True.
Is that one of your friends doing that?
No, sir. It's just some idiot shooting something in the sky for no reason.
Shooting things? Oh, they must be trying to shoot down Santa.
Excuse me, sir?
Oh, right. Never told you, did I? For the last couple generations, someone got superpowers similar to the Santa Claus seen in literature and specials, and they've been riding around the world delivering gifts and joy. Pretty classified information.
I just... What?!
Anyways, it's not like shooting them down will do anything, since most people still put the gifts under the tree without the Santa hero around. But it will raise some noise complaints, so can you... Huh?
12 seconds later.
Okay, let's try this again. Piss off, lady!
Sorry, can't hear you over the wormhole being generated underneath your feet.
Wait, what? Oh, shit!
Problem solved.
Wait, what?
Oh, some morons were shooting missiles or something, and I dealt with it.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
No problem.
Huh. Impressive. Anyways, I'll let you two get ready for your vacation, so see you in the new year, Mr. Grimm.
See you in the new year, sir. But before I go, how about I do that Victini review? Pokemon the movie Black, Victini and Reshiram. White, Victini and Zekrom? No, folks, your eyes don't deceive you. For the first time in this movie series, the Pokemon Company decided to release two versions of a film in the exact same year, rather than one movie. Hell, it even got a theater run in a few states, which was likely a surprise for a lot of people, since after Pokemon Heroes, the rest of the films I covered up to this one were released on either DVD or Cartoon Network. But like I said earlier, this isn't two separate films, this is just two versions of the exact same film with incredibly minor differences, which I will address throughout the synopsis, so without wasting any more time, let's begin. After a World of Pokemon recap, with Ash fighting Sokka in the black version, Thor in the white version, we got over to a desert in the white version, or an Arctic region in the black version, where we see a man trying to talk to the native residents about reviving something known as the Kingdom of the Vale before getting rejected by their chief. This man is known as Damon, our antagonist for this film. Oh, and don't worry if you missed out on Damon's attempt in the other area if you picked one of the movies and not the other, because it ends up showing up as an abridged flashback later in the film anyways. Yep, totally needed two versions. So Damon saves them from an iceberg in white using the legendary Pokemon Zekrom, or a Death Storm in black using the legendary Pokemon Reshiram, and they reconsider his offer and join him on his quest. We then cut over to Ash's group, who have just arrived in a place known as Eindhoek Town, and now is probably the time I quickly talk about Ash's new group of friends, since Brock and Dawn are no longer with Ash. Silent is a connoisseur who runs one of the gyms in Unova, and Iris is a girl who wants to be a Dragon Master, and merged with as a striker or something. Seriously, what is up with these straps in her hair? So Ash sees a couple of nearlings in trouble and goes off to help, but while he gets into position to rescue them, we get introduced to another legendary Pokemon, Victini, who is hiding in a cave. That is, until Ash grabs the two deerlings, but is about to fall off the cliff. It is then that Victini decides to help them by grabbing Ash's foot and emitting something from their body that lets him jump really far. How? Well, folks, this is all thanks to Victini's ability in the film, which allows it to strengthen someone's power by a lot just by simply touching them. And to be honest, I actually like this concept, and has some pretty creative uses, like enabling Ash to jump really far, owning a Hydreigon with a simple headbutt later on in the film, or even boosting a small Ember attack to a giant wave of fiery death. Fuck yeah! Too bad. After the scene where Ash fights these two Pokemon, this boost concept is never used again in the film. So Ash walks through a crystallized cave-like system that oddly reminds me of the one from Mystery of Mew, and hears a voice from somebody before exiting the system and entering the city. After he reunites with Iris and Silent, we find out that the castle is known as the Sword of the Vale, and they also run into Damon, who exposits that he is the caretaker of the castle, and then cue opening montage! After that opening montage, we find out more about Victini, such as how its role is as the guardian of the town, how it's rarely seen by people because of its ability to turn invisible, and the previously mentioned ability to increase someone's power through mere touch. So Ash tries to lure it out by using macarons, which in an earlier scene Victini liked eating, and succeeds. We get some innocent fun with the two for a bit, but when Ash tries to take Victini to an area outside of the castle area, it gets hit by a barrier and flies off. So why is there a barrier? Well, long ago there was a kingdom known as the Kingdom of the Vale that housed a tribe known as the People of the Vale that could use a power in the earth known as the Dragon Force to enrich the land around the kingdom. All was well for a period of time, until the twin sons of the king, each controlling one of the legendary dragons Reshiram and Zekrom, began a war because one preferred truth over ideals, and vice versa. This war caused the Dragon Force to go apeshit, ravaging the earth as a result. So without any other options, the king asked Victini to lend his power to him, and he created the Pillars of Protection as well as a barrier to control the flow of that chaotic power, and it worked, calming the force down, but also moving the kingdom to another area, leaving the old kingdom to rot. But this also came at a cost. King died, leaving behind the pillars and barrier, and confining Victini for over a millennia. Also, the princess hid the dragon stones within the cavern of the sword, but yeah. But despite all this information, and despite knowing what might happen, Daemon still wants to restore the original kingdom of the Vale by borrowing Victini's power, just like the king, and returning it to its rightful place. Okay, Daemon, I appreciate that you're doing this for your people, but did you just ignore the fact that it was placed here to stop the chaotic energy? If it's moved, it is going to go chaotic again if the story told in this film is correct. It's like putting a cork on a fizzing bottle or a gigantic boulder that covers the top of it. If it's removed, it's going to go apeshit again. My God, you're an idiot, is what I'd like to say, but as this film will later show, taking the sword out won't cause it to go chaotic at first. You know what? We'll get to that when we get there. So after Ash reunites with Victini, we get the exposition I just mentioned earlier, and then we cut to the next day, where Daemon executes his plan on the observation deck, and the sword begins to move up. Victini notices the barrier beginning to constrict as a result of this, and flies up towards the castle, where they are greeted by Daemon, who requests that it lends him his power. So naturally, he does so when the movie is over. Oh, am I kidding? That would make sense for this one. No, instead, let's throw this smaller barrier that drags Victini to a mechanism and drain its power, because that totally doesn't sound like a forced conflict. What, were you worried he would end the movie too quickly? You do realize that you could have had something like, Victini cooperate, pull the sword out, and then have everything go apeshit immediately, which means our heroes and Daemon have to stop it? Or hell, have Victini cooperate with Daemon, Ash's group comes in and thinks that Daemon forced this onto Victini, which causes the conflict between Daemon and Ash, which causes the Dragon Force to go apeshit, mirroring the event from millennia ago, and then have them stop it? Seriously, why did you think this was the better alternative? And it gets even dumber than that, because after the sword is pulled out, guess what happens to the Dragon Force? It goes all chaotic, right? Nope! It's green and normal when first pulled out. I'm sorry, what? Didn't this movie state earlier that the barrier is made to calm down the Dragon Force? Well, the barrier is gone from that area now, and it's green, so what the hell, movie? What the actual hell? Whatever. It begins to restore the area. We get a fight scene where Daemon kicks our heroes' asses with his Gothtel and or Uniclus, and Zekrom or Reshiram. Ash gets knocked unconscious. We see Victini getting injured, and then cutting to the Dragon Force getting chaotic, and then we get a dream sequence stating that if it was moved, it would go chaotic again, and stop. Just stop. When the sword was first pulled in this act, barrier was gone and it was green. So it's clearly not the act of it getting pulled that caused it to go chaotic. Hell, it wasn't even until we saw them fighting and or Victini getting tortured that it started to turn purple again. Now it's saying that if it's ever moved, it'll go chaotic. What the hell is going on here? If that was true, then why the hell did it take so long to turn chaotic? Hell, we saw the green stuff in it restoring the former kingdom. If it was chaotic, odds are that shit wouldn't be happening. Wouldn't it make more sense that the fighting itself caused the Dragon Force to go chaotic? You know, to mirror the events from millennia ago, instead of pulling it out, have the Dragon Force be green, and then just randomly make it purple? Jesus Christ, this is terrible writing. But whatever. Ash gets the other dragon that Daemon doesn't have in the movie. We get a fight scene between the two dragons. Victini gets freed by Daemon's dragon, and Daemon and Ash work together to put the sword back in. They succeed. Daemon feels guilt over what happened. His friends and family tell him they can rebuild the kingdom together, and all is good. The end roll credit. Jesus Christ, what the hell was this shit? No, seriously. They had a decent concept for the story, and they screwed it up big time. They bring up the concept of powering up Pokemon via Victini, and then abandon it. They bring up a decent dilemma with possibly sacrificing Victini for the greater good and screwing that up, and they even botched the Dragon Force concept heavily.
Get ready.
Speaking of what the hell is with the characters in this one? A lot of the new characters are flat personality-wise and don't contribute much to the overall film. Silent and Iris hardly do much either, which is a big contrast to the last couple movies where Ash's group helped Ash in saving the day. Victini is flat personality-wise and just serves to do cute shit and save the day at the end of the film. Zekrom and Reshiram hardly have much character to them, and Team Rocket is wasted again. Hell, the only character I liked in this one was Daemon, and that's because his plan doesn't involve taking over the world and destroying it, but rather to save his people, and another reason I liked him was because he actually feels guilt over what happened, which most villains in this series don't feel after their plans fail. That's it though. That's the only character I fucking liked in this movie. What the fuck? Outside of that, the only other thing I liked about this film was the music and animation. I thought the music was very fitting given the kingdom-like setting of the film, and the animation is good for the standards of the time, but that's really all I can say about this. Now, before I conclude this review, I want to say one more thing. Why did this get split into two versions? Seriously. With the games, I can understand splitting them up because they'll usually make version-exclusive antagonists, Pokemon, and even legendaries that you can't get in the other version. But that's not the case here. You see both legendaries getting used. The Psychic Pokemon Damon uses doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Same with the Shiny, since they fulfill the same role. And you even see Damon travel to both areas regardless of the film you chose. So why even bother splitting this film into two versions when the differences are incredibly minor at best? This feels like a waste of time and money. Actually, that's probably the best way I can describe this film. The story is shit, the characters are mostly shit, the writing is shit, and I felt like I just wasted my time and money watching this film. So that concludes this review. Thank you all for watching and have a happy holidays. Because next month, I'm going to take a look at Keldale's movie. Take care, everyone. What the hell?
You may have stopped us from shooting down Santa before, but you won't stop us this time.
So you were the reason for those explosions.
My men were, yes. I am their leader. Now then, we are all on a rocket ship heading for the atmosphere, and when this goes off, Santa will be annihilated, and Reshiram will rain down on this planet.
But Santa isn't real, and even then, I can just use the wormhole to teleport this rocket anyway.
Lady, we're about to enter the layers of the atmosphere. You'll die due to the lack of oxygen out there.
What? You?
Are done. You can't win.
That's not gonna happen, asshats.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Susan, throw up a barrier around yourself.
Got it.
Blood and rage of crimson red. Enough to make a body dead.
Together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. Fire! That is our fate! You son of a bitch! What have you done?
You said this was going to kill Santa and rain down radiation?
Yes.
Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but...
What?
You can't radiate something if it no longer exists! Not a deal with you! Now, if you excuse me, I have a call to the police to make.
Later.
Alright, we made it!
It was a pretty view on the flight here, but seeing the northern lights up close on our way here made it all the more breathtaking. I can see why you picked this place.
Yeah, it is a pretty view out there. Still kinda sucks Stitcher and Greninja didn't want to come though.
Well, they did have their reasons. Plus, hey, they get the house to themselves.
True. Anyways, we should probably get red.
Oh, don't worry. I just want to see which of us is stronger in our lantern forms. So go on. Go 100%.
Wouldn't it make more sense to do it outside? Oh! Yeah, okay. You're on.
Bring it.